Hi, this is Tweek. Welcome to another episode of Tweeks with Tweek. In today's episode, I'm going to make a garden star, a little design I came up with when I saw this circle and a clothespin. Join us. To make a garden star, the supplies you'll need are some clothespins. You'll need at least 50 of them, one floral 6-inch craft ring, one crimp bead, some wire, 2 hooks that you will screw in to the project, paint, 3 colors of your choice, some wire, a crystal prism ball, glue. I use Tombow and Titebond wood glue, 46 beads, again, color of your choice, some varnish, a chain or wire to hang the project, a spinner hook for display. You will need some pliers, a paintbrush, and some wire cutters. Now let's get started. My idea for the garden star started with clothespins. These are the kind of clothespins that just clamp, and I just take them apart by twisting them around. And you can pull off that metal piece quite easily. I need at least 50 of these clothespins to create the project and the look that I want. We have these pieces here, and I'm going to glue them together, flat sides together. So that's to end up with the shape that you get. We need 23 of these for each side of the garden star. So take a little bit of glue. You don't want to get too goopy here. And this is a fast drying wood glue. And I put a little bit up the middle. Join it with another piece. Now some of it will ooze out. I just clean that off with my finger. And when you have 46 of these, 23 for each side, completed and all dry, we will paint them. For now, I'm just squeezing it together. I'm squeezed for just a couple seconds here. That's how it looks. Set that aside to dry. While that's drying, while all of them are drying, I'm going to tend to this piece here and put down a little bit of protection here for the table. So I'm going to take this ring, it's a 6-inch MDF wood ring, and 2 holes have been drilled into it. Measure straight up, a hole in the top, a pilot hole, and then one right under it. And those will hold the hooks for hanging. And for right now, I'd like to pick my color and paint the whole thing, which means both sides and the edges going around. So my color is going to be this deep red. I'm going for a bit of an Aztec theme with the colors. I just want a deeper, brighter color in the center to help augment the colors that will spin around it. So take a little bit of red. I'm just going to paint the whole circle. If it's not, I might paint 2 coats, but let's see how the first coat goes first. And you will get paint on your fingers. Goes with the job. I went online and I looked at colors. I typed in Aztec colors, and oh my goodness, the turquoises, blues, and oranges are just brilliant and very beautiful for a garden setting in particular. It dries pretty fast. Okay, I'm gonna catch the inside. This pop-up color is so pretty in the end product. And that's why you want to cover the whole thing, even the little inside rings. So that is going to sit over here and dry. In the meantime, I'm getting some of that red paint off. And guess what? I'm going to get painty again because we're going to go for bronze next. I'm going to take all these little pieces that I told you to get them all glued up and set them aside. We need 23 of them. We're going to use these to go around the circumference of the ring. Our ring is dry, yes. So I'm going to look for the pilot hole because that's kind of my start and stop point. There you are. Okay, so right here is where I'm going to start. And I'm simply going to take one of these and I'm going to glue them in succession as they touch each other as we go around the circle. And you get the idea here. Here comes our glue. don't want to use too much to goop it out, and you only have to use as much glue as from that line there to the edge. Put a little bit of glue and start my line right there. I want to start there and have the circle between these two so that I can more easily access putting the hook in there. I'm going to keep going all the way around. While these are drying, I'm going to set this aside and work on the pendant that's going to be hanging in the center of this garden star. And for that, I need a pendant. Now, I could use one of my cluster balls that I made. Very pretty. But instead, I ordered these online. They're very simple crystal. And they have a little channel in the top where I can add some wire. And I'm going to take a crimping bead and make a very simple just little loop to hang this. And I'm going to go for gold because we're doing gold here. So I'm going to get a crimping bead. There it is. Gold. And I need some wire. I've got some gold wire here. I don't need a whole lot of it. I'm going to go for about 6 inches. I like enough to play with. Okay. And there's a nice channel that's been carved into this crystal, so push the wire through and take the ends, even them out, and I'm going to push these ends through the crimping bead. I'll put that down close as I can to the pendant. Well, that's what I'm going to aim for, but right now I want to push these 2 wires back through. And there they are. Everybody's on that crimping bead. Now I'm going to use a little tool, just a nut pick. And I'm going to use it to help even out the 2 strands of wire so that the loop looks nice, because it's going to hang in the center of the garden star, and I want it to hang just about right, which means I need a smaller loop at the top there. There we go. I'm looking at the size of the loop. I think that's good. And now I'm going to crimp that bead. They just made rabbit ears. But it'll all work out in the end. Yeah, when we hang them. Now I want to cut that as close as I can to the crimping bead. And we have our pendant, which is ready to be hung later when we get the project finished. That's so pretty. So let's see how our glue is going here. Oh, they are all glued and dried. Good. Look how pretty already. This is why I wanted complete coverage of paint on the circle, because it's just going to peek through. And these here I'm going to paint a bronze color. And it takes a little bit of time, but put on some music or a movie and away we go. I've got some Blick acrylic paints. I'm going to put quite a bit of bronze down because we're going to be using it. I'm not going to worry about the sides so much or the back of this. I'm just going to work on the front, and I'm just going to cover everything in a nice coat of bronze. I might have to go around it more than once to give complete coverage, so I just start by adding some bronze, and I move along and keep going until I have the coverage, the thickness that I want. I don't want the wood to show through, so I just let that dry and keep going around. So you can see I've gone one time around already, and these are pine wood clothespins. It takes at least 2 coats of this paint, this acrylic paint. I'm thinking another coat as well. I'll get 3 coats all the way around, and each time I go around, the clothespin looks a little more rich, a little better. And we'll just keep going until we get all 3 coats done. I took 3 coats of paint, mostly on the top, on the surface. And then I went around like a pinwheel, and I just kept painting the inside parts, pieces. And by the time I got that done, all around here. Now I'm going to come back through and just pick up with some of the red paint, just with a tinier brush. Just pull in some of the copper that got on it. Just touch up in a couple spots. Any place where the paint got missed, it actually adds a bit of reflection. All right, quit being so fussy and go with the blue. The blue is so pretty, and it highlights, perfectly matches the beads I'm going to use to fill these little holes. Each little spot will have a turquoise bead in it. So I don't need a whole lot of this paint because I'm only going to paint these little teeny spots here. See? And I'm going to do that with the same smaller brush. Okay. Oh, I'm going to turn it up on its end a little bit. I'm going to go all the way around again with blue. Got that painted in. Pretty, huh? Ooh. Now, before I flip this over and work on the other side, I'm going to add the little beads. I'm going to put the turquoise beads with the hole so you can't see the hole. And for this, I'm going to use my nut tool to angle this in and give it a push. They're usually really tight, and the ones that aren't tight, I will use some Tombow glue to hold them in place. Looks like I'm going to have trouble there and here. There's a little teeny spot. See? Go right in. But it works to tap them into the wood. The wood is forgiving in that manner, so my trusty little tapper. All right, we'll let that dry. This side is complete. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to repeat the process. That's why we wanted the whole ring to be painted. And I'm going to add 23 clothespins, paint them, paint the circle, add the beads, and we'll finish up the project. So, here we go. So before I add the second string of the clothespin spikes here, I'm going to put in the hooks that I need to hang the project when it's all done. We've got to do that now because as I offset and glue these other little clothespins on to get a nice sunbursty star effect, I won't be able to reach in there. So I'm finishing up by painting all the blue, and I'm coming in with a little bit of red. We've got all the beads in. The ones that were loose I glued first, like on the first side. And all we have left to do now is to give it a nice coat of varnish. So let's go do that. So after all this is dry, isn't that beautiful? I'm going to take a hook and I'm going to sneak it back in here. I think I'm going to do it this way where my fingers aren't long enough. And sneak it in there. Okay, I got it worked in there. Good. I need this one. I've got 2 pieces of old necklace that I'm going to use as the holder. Oh my goodness. Bear with me. All right, got it on there. So, hang tight. Crimp that shut. Got it. There's our holder. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And we're missing one more thing, and that is our pendant that we had put the little teeny hook on. We've got this opened up and get the 2 of them on there. Oh my gosh, got it. And there you have it. Oh my goodness. All that work, and it turned out beautifully, didn't it? So shiny. I just love it. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you know when the next episode of Tweeks with Tweek is coming along. Until then, add something nice and sparkly to your garden. See you again.